It's going to be only America first. America first.
America first. America first. This is from the heart. I make no apology.
Подъезжаем мы к горе Маунт Рашмор National Memorial.
Двигайтесь вне дорог.
Мы прибыли к горе Рашмор Мемориал с 4 президентами, которые были вырезаны портретами на этой горе.
И сейчас там что идет?
Какое-то вечернее празднование в честь 4 июля.
День
Да,
независимости.
является Днем независимости Америки.
Давайте. Проходим. Тятюси, ай, ты ляляськин, ай, ты тятюси, тятюси, тятюси. Помоги.
And the countless Americans who have made great sacrifices to ensure the lasting legacy of our country. Freedom.
Помоги.
We strive
Хочу тебя сфотографировать еще.
in our accomplishments as a country.
Так, а что они не подсвечивают? Ага.
Words that could convey a spirit of patriotism.
Так. О, подошли к горе уже.
Borglum chose his canvas carefully. The giant granite rock face of Mount Rushmore. And in 1927, work on the mountain began. It was a time of rebellion and of war. It began when the Continental Army seemed undisciplined and ill-equipped. One man's courage and determination ultimately led the troops to victory over the British. The future father of our country, George Washington.
The army must serve the country, but not rule it. Express your utmost horror and detestation of the man who wishes to overturn the liberties of our country. George Washington, 1783.
It was this kind of insight and integrity that made him the perfect person to oversee the creation of a new federal government. With no blueprint to follow, Washington kept the colonies. Washington's legacy is that of a man who was first in war, first in peace, and first in the hearts of his countrymen. In his inaugural address, he spoke of the task that lay before this new nation.
The preservation of the sacred fire of liberty and the destiny of the Republican model of government are justly considered as deeply, perhaps as final at stake, on the experiment entrusted to the hands of the American people. George Washington, 1789.
George Washington welded this union, but it would take another great visionary to expand it. Thomas Jefferson, third President of the United States.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. But among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Thomas Jefferson, 1776.
Thomas Jefferson was the voice of the American people. Two very American principles we cherish today. Thomas Jefferson always thought of himself more as a scientist or scholar than as a politician. And it was this quest for knowledge that played a role in the greatest achievement of his presidency. In 1804, the Civil War was the most tumultuous period in American history. The differences between the states had deeply divided the nation, pitting brother against brother on American soil. But it was the determination of one man to keep the United States united. Abraham Lincoln, our 16th president. Abraham Lincoln was a self-made man of great character, a frontiersman who came from humble beginnings. When Lincoln was inaugurated in 1861, he faced more adversity than any other president in
This issue of civil war. The government will not assail you.
Третий
You
смерть.
have no oath registered in heaven to destroy the government, while I shall have the most solemn one, to preserve, protect, and defend it. Abraham Lincoln, 1861.
The Civil War raged on for 4 brutal years. But Lincoln stuck to his commitment to democracy. His main objective was to save the Union, and he also strongly believed in freedom for all Americans. Until slavery was abolished, Lincoln felt the U.S. could never truly be the home of the free. Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation began the process that ended the evils of slavery forever. Over 500,000 Union and But during his famous Gettysburg Address, Lincoln reminded the American people what this war was really all about.
That we here highly resolve that these dead should not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that this government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Abraham Lincoln, 1863.
Over the next 50 years, the United States would go through a dramatic transformation. The year 1900 was coming around the bend, and America was turning from a rural republic to a budding industrial power. It was clear that this new century, which burst with hope, needed a fresh start and a fresh approach. It was Theodore Roosevelt, our 26th president, who led the way.
Is America a weakling, to shrink from the work of the great world powers? No! The young giant of the West stands on a continent and clasps the crest of an ocean in either hand. Our nation, glorious in youth and strength, looks into the future with eager eyes and rejoices, as a strong man to run a race. Theodore Roosevelt, 1897.
He was energetic, he was robust, and he was eager to show the world that America was a force to be reckoned with. Theodore Roosevelt believed in the strenuous life.
Theodore Roosevelt, 1907.
The pursuit of the American dream did not end with Theodore Roosevelt's term. Instead, it has carried us into the 21st century. Throughout history, countless Americans have made great sacrifices so that we can enjoy the freedoms of this land.
The only thing we have to fear. I have a dream today. Not what your country can do for you.
The same freedoms guaranteed in our Constitution and Bill of Rights. The same freedoms millions of people have sought since the first immigrants arrived over 200 years ago. Gutzon Borglum reminds us of this with his timeless memorial. 4 Americans representing the birth, growth, preservation, and development of this country. All embodying the spirit of our nation. All advocates of freedom, dignity, and the ideals of American life.
Закончилось.
Ну, давай ставь. Ну что, торжественная часть закончилась, это сейчас все стали. Обратите внимание, народу полно, тишина стоит.
At this time, I invite you to stand and join in singing the national anthem.
Знаешь, national anthem? А?
Уже мало.
At this time, I invite all military personnel.
Кто это?
Те, кто были в армии, из семьи капитанских где Америка воевала.
О, сколько народу, да тут сейчас полно выйдут.
Пол этого выше зала.
Да, я же говорю, много, они вот с края так сошли, шли.
Ladies and gentlemen of the audience, to conclude our ceremony, most of these men and women have never met one another, and yet tonight they are bonded together on stage. For most, this is the only public recognition they will ever receive for their willingness to serve our country. As they rejoin their families, let us show them our appreciation for their sacrifice for our freedoms with another heartfelt round of applause. Thank you for your service.
Хотели поблагодарить за то, что служат в армии, за то, что выигрывают нашу свободу по сей день.
This concludes this evening's lighting ceremony. Thank you for attending, and happy Independence Day.
прошел у них. В этом году, вот так в этом году прошла церемония Independence Day. Раньше фейерверки стреляли, но запретили, потому что много происшествий после этого. Гора разваливается. Что там, собака умерла, что там было?
Народ гулялось.
Поэтому брали фейерверки.
Один раз, помню, все одновременно зашарашили, поэтому, видимо, из-за этого начало разрушаться. Мы сейчас находимся на аллее возле Маунт Рашмор, где флаги всех штатов Соединенных Штатов Америки, а также таблички с их названиями и когда они присоединились к Союзу самому Соединенных Штатов Америки. Делавэр, 1, 1787. Пенсильвания, 2, 1787. Нью-Джерси, 3, 1787. Джорджия, 4, 1788. Коннектикут, 5, 1788. Массачусетс, 6, 1788. Мэриленд, 7, 1788. Саут Каролина, 8, 1788. Нью-Хэмпшир, 9, 1788. Вирджиния, 10 штат, 1788 год. Нью-Йорк, 11, 1788. Норт Каролина, 12, 1789. Роуд-Айленд, 13 штат, 1790. Вермонт, 14 штат, 1791. Кентаки, 15, 1792. Теннесси, 16 штат, 1796. Ohio, 17, 1803. Луизиана, 18, 1812. Индиана, 19, 1816. Миссисипи, 20, 1817. Иллинойс, 21, 1818. Алабама, 22, 1819. Мэйн, 23, 1820. Миссури, 24, 1821. Канзас, 25, 1836. Мичиган, 26, 1837. Флорида, 27, 1845. Texas, 28 штат, 1845. Айова, 29, 1846. Висконсин, 30 штат, 1848. Калифорния, 31, 1850. Миннесота, 32, 1858. Орегон, 33, 1859. Канзас, 34, 1861. Вест-Вирджиния, 35 штат, присоединен в 1863 году. Невада, 36, 1864. Небраска, 37, 1867. Колорадо, 38, 1876. North Dakota, 39-й, 1889. South Dakota, 40-й штат, 1889. Монтана, 41-й, 1889. Вашингтон, 42-й штат, присоединен в 1889 году. Айдахо, 43-й, 1890. Вайоминг, 44-й штат, 1890. Юта, 45-й штат, 1896. Оклахома, 46-й, 1907. Нью-Мексико, 47-й, 1912. Аризона, 48-й, 1912. Аляска, 49-й, 1959. Хавайи, 50-й штат, 1959. Айдахо, 43-й, 1890. Пуэрто-Рико, 1898. Территория Northern Mariana Islands, 1976. Территория Гуам, 1898. District of Columbia, 1790. District of Columbia, 1790, установлена как национальная столица. Территория American Samoa, 1900. Мы последние. Все, будем выходить.
Да, покидаем мы этот парк. Красиво так. Видите, как никого, одни мы с Мэгги. Обратите внимание, пусто. Была забита вся парковка, причем здесь она не одна, здесь много. И мы одни такие. Последние выходим. Только наша машина стоит. Все. Вот так мы в этом году встретили Independence Day. Встретили, отметили. Как правильно сказать? Отметили, встретили, праздновали. Все. Покидаем территорию эту, едем в отель отдыхать.